What if you were accused of a crime you didn't commit? Worse, what if that crime was witchcraft? Today, we delve into the Salem witch trials, a dark chapter in history. In the late 17th century, the socio-political climate of colonial Massachusetts was a tinderbox waiting for a spark. The year was 1692, and Salem Village was a community on edge. An influx of refugees from war-torn regions had unsettled the village, stoking tensions and fanning the flames of existing rivalries. Then, in an ordinary home, the extraordinary happened. The strange behavior of two young girls convulsing and contorting in fits of inexplicable distress set the village alight with fear. Unable to find a medical explanation, the shaken villagers sought a supernatural one. The girls, pressed for answers, pointed an accusatory finger at three women, sparking a wildfire of suspicion and dread that would sweep through the village and beyond. In the grip of fear and superstition, Salem Village was set on a path of paranoia and persecution. The accusations were just the beginning. The trials were about to take a monstrous turn. The special court of Oyer and Terminer was established, a court that would become a stage for tragedy. Accusations began to pour in, a relentless stream of fear and suspicion, and the interrogations were ruthless. Spectral evidence, the testimony of the afflicted, who claimed to see the spirit or spectre of the witch tormenting them, played a pivotal role. It was a dangerous game, she said, with stakes as high as life itself. 20 lives were claimed, 20 people who were deemed guilty not because of tangible evidence, but because of fear, paranoia, and an insatiable need for scapegoats. The trials were not just a product of fear, but a manifestation of the underlying xenophobia, religious extremism, and social tensions of the time. Strangers were feared, difference was condemned, and the familiar was clung to in desperation. The court, blinded by fear, had sentenced innocent people to death. But the tide of paranoia couldn't last forever. The trials were about to meet their end. The use of spectral evidence, a form of proof based on dreams and visions, was heavily denounced. This led to the dissolution of the Special Court of Oyer and Terminer, the legal body responsible for the trials. Many of the accused witches, their lives hanging by a thread, were released. Governor Phipps, appalled by the mass hysteria, issued a pardon for all those imprisoned on witchcraft charges, but for many, it was an act that came too late. This was not the end, however. In the years that followed, some of those involved in the trials confessed to their errors and expressed guilt. The heartbreaking realization of the miscarriage of justice led to the trials being declared unlawful. The trials had ended, but the damage was done. Salem would forever bear the scars of its past. In the aftermath of the trials, a long road to reconciliation began. It took nearly 2 decades until 1711 for some of the accused to be pardoned and their families to receive compensation. Yet the echoes of the trials reverberated for centuries. It wasn't until 1957, over 2.5 centuries later, that Massachusetts formally apologized for the events, acknowledging the grave injustices that had transpired. And in a poignant moment of redress, Elizabeth Johnson Jr., the last convicted witch, was officially exonerated in July 2022, finally righting a wrong that had lasted more than 3 centuries. As a testament to the enduring memory of the trials, a memorial was dedicated in 1992, marking the 300th anniversary of the tragic events. More recently, exhibitions held in Salem in 2021 and 2022 have continued to shed light upon this dark chapter of history. The Salem witch trials remain a potent reminder of the dangers of fear and prejudice, a history lesson that continues to captivate and caution us to this day. If you want to see more of the macabre and the frightening, then don't forget to like and subscribe.